ना करता है, मेहनत उसकी आखिर बेकार नहीं होती। कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती। दुखिया सिंधु में खोद लगाता है, जा जाकर खाली हाथ लौट आता है। मिलते नहीं सहजे मोती गहरे पानी में, बढ़ता दुगना उत्साह इसी हैरानी में। मोती उसकी खाली हर बार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती। असफलता एक चुनौती है, उसे स्वीकार करो। क्या कमी रह गई देखो और सुधार करो। जब तक ना हो सफल नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम। कुछ करे बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती। And thereafter, that person thought probably I'll get a prize in this elocution competition. So when the results were being announced, the first prize, well, the MC said, MC was a gentleman by the name of student, a very proper student, by the name of Asim. No, not you Asim, sir, a different MC, but the same name incidentally. So Asim comes on stage and announced the first prize. Well, I don't announce the first prize, I announced the third prize first. The third prize goes to, and the third prize that I was expecting. The third prize goes to Mr. Yasin Khan. No, not you, sir, not you. You got it. Is he around there? And then second prize announced for me. Of second prize, that person thought he would put it all that way. Ready? And the second prize goes to a girl, very pretty girl by the name of Rema. Rema got the second prize. Koi baat nahi. I'll come again on the same platform. And this time I will win the prize. Normally what happens is the first and second prize are reserved for class 12s or class 11s, the super seniors. And because as soon as that person couldn't speak at all, would stammer and stutter, one fluently only चलता हुई। And जब असीम जी ने, और आप नहीं, दूसरे असीम जी ने जब अनाउंस किया, the first prize goes to Mohd Ali Shah. My story. And my name was called out. जी हाँ, वो मैं था। वो बचपन में हमला करता था, ठीक है? And when my name was called as the first prize, only class 7th, I was surprised. I was like, wow. Thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, there was no looking back. There was no looking back for me. I got rid of my stammer. I got rid of my stutter. I almost got rid of my lisp. Well, I still lisp actually at times. And my greatest fear in life is, what if I get back to the same old Ali who would stammer, stutter, lisp, get stuck while speaking? How will that be? And thereafter I learned several tongue twisters like, betting butter, got a bit of butter, but the butter was bitter, so betting butter, got a bit of better butter to make the bitter butter better. Peter Piper picked a bag of pickled pepper, Peter picked. If Peter Piper picked a bag of pickled pepper, where's the bag of pickled pepper Peter picked? Seashells on the seashore. But the seashells are seashells. All the seashore are not seashells at all. And great others, Have you heard this poem? I am my own grandpa. Suniye aap, what from What I'm going to tell you is, from stammering, if one could become a speaker and become an international TEDx speaker, so can you do anything? If अगर आपको लगता है आपके बच्चे sales marketing सिखानी है, unless you are convinced yourself, you can't sell a product. For that, you have to be convinced. You have to have thorough knowledge, right? So, thereafter, I was very lucky. I was very fortunate. I had the best mentors I could have found in the world, not just in the country, but internationally. Like Naseem Saab, Mr. Naseem Shah, he personally sat down with me, worked on my diction, speech, clarity. Tom Walter Saab gave me undivided attention because that fire was there. I don't want to spend my entire life stammering and stuttering. What's your name? Good, pronounce the name. Ali, this small three-letter word, three alphabets. So I learned a poem called I Am My Own Grandpa. Suniye. I am my own grandpa. It sounds funny, but really so. I am my own. You like the comment box? The one who are watching it virtually. I am my own grandpa. Let me explain to you how. Well, many years ago, when I was 23, I was married to a widow who was pretty as a bee. Now, this widow had a grown-up daughter who had hair so red that my father fell in love with her, and soon the two were wed. Now, this made my dad my son-in-law and changed my married life for my daughter-in-law to become my mother. Since she became my father's wife. Now, to complicate the matter, though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. Now, this little baby of mine then became a brother of dad, and so became my uncle, so it made me very sad. For if this little baby of mine then became my uncle, then that made him the brother of the widow's grown-up daughter, who of course by now was my stepmother. My father's wife then had a son, who kept them on the run, and he became my grandchild, for he was my stepdaughter's son. Now, my wife is now my stepmother's mother. It makes me blue, because although she is my wife, she is my grandmother too. Now, if my wife was my grandmother, then obviously I am a grandchild. And every time I think of this, my God, it really drives me wild. For now I've become the strangest case you ever saw. As husband of my own grandma, I am my own grandpa. It sounds funny and complicating, but really so, thank you. So, thereafter I learned very complicating things, And then after, I started working on myself. Okay, let me ask you 5 simple questions. Okay, are you ready? Sir, with your permission, कोई डिसिप्लिन मेंटेन नहीं, जो पहले इसको बोलना है वो बोल दे, ठीक है? जवाब है वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस. अब यूनिवर्सिटी में these are kindergarten questions actually. Okay, ready? Everyone is perfect? Sure? Okay, the jungle, which is the fastest animal? A cheetah. It is the tallest animal. A giraffe. Taller animal, a leopard. Taller animal is a giraffe. The jungle, which is the largest animal. Please don't elephant, not bad. I thought with leopard, I can remember. In the jungle, which is the most clever animal. Fox, not bad. Everyone on the same page. In the jungle, which is the very tough one, by the way, very difficult one. And सबके answers are over here. I can guarantee that because it's a very tough one. In the jungle, which is the most good-looking animal, the most handsome animal, the most beautiful animal. Okay. Anybody else? Rabbit, very good. Anybody else? Lamb, very good, sir. Anybody else? Tiger, very good, man. Anybody else? Peacock. Peacock, that's a very good one, sir. I love your participation online. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And okay. Now, why is it the most difficult one is because beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And beauty is skinny. So something that I might perceive as beautiful, it's not necessarily you might perceive it as beautiful as well. What you might perceive as beautiful is not necessarily somebody else might perceive as beautiful, right? Now this animal, this particular animal I'm talking about,